This is another one of Ray's ridiculously random rambling ruminations. Today, took the kids to St. Ernestine. We hit the beach. A few days left before school starts. So I figured do it now so they'd have a day to recuperate. So obviously I've got five kids, if you didn't know that already. I've got a 7 and 8 year old that I keep an eye on. They frolic in the little surf and waves and play with their shovels and buckets and that sort of thing. But I stay up there and you know keep a active eye on them, staying within range of them, obviously. My three older ones are older, so they think they can meander out a bit further, and so I holler at them when I need to, wave for me to go back. You're drifting to the left, you're drifting to the right, get back in line with us. And so I tell them every time, I'm like, all right, guys, you're the rules. Wave steep, 'cause when the waves hit you, wave steep. Or when you're waist deep, the waves hit you, chest high or maybe the face or whatnot. So I'm like, waist deep, don't go any deeper. And those are the rules I'm like, because I got to keep an eye on the two little ones because they're innocent. You know, if they get hit with water, they're going to go off and sneeze and choke and all that stuff. So y'all, if you go out too deep and you get hit in the face, that's your own fault because you didn't listen to what I said. I told you don't do it. You did it anyway. I was motioning you back. You chose not to ignore my hand waves or me shouting, "Get back up here." You're choosing to put yourself in that situation. At which point, you deserve your 4 cups of salt water for the day. I need to stay and keep attention on the two little ones that are closer because it's not their fault if they get smacked with a wave because they're learning. As I was saying this, it kind of hit me. I'm like, I love my kids. Obviously, I would go running after trying to take care of them. But if one of my older ones started drowning, I've got to take care of the two younger ones who are right here first. I have to get them away from the water. I have to get them situated. I have to make sure they're going to stay safe and stay where they're at before I can go after the other one. And it was like, well, thankfully, God doesn't have to pick and choose. God is willing to put the 99 sheep to the side and keep them safe so he can go after the one lost one. And God's willing to keep an eye out and come running for any of us that call out needing help. And it was just one of those little moments where it's like, yeah, I see that now. I I understand a little bit more of the prodigal son, a little bit more of God's putting the few aside to go after the one, and how much that's not the way it is in real life. Because we're like, we'll sacrifice the one to save the nine, or the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. Sherlock Holmes or Mr. Spock, whichever way you want to go. But it's kind of like the mortal world, the world we live in. It's like there's an acceptable loss. It's a certain amount of acceptable loss, but with God, Jesus, there is not an acceptable loss. There is not a moment where they go, well, Ray's over there being an idiot again. He's asking for help again. But, I'm watching these guys over here. I can't run over there. You're tired. You're not going to do it. Poor Michael, he just got off you know, 3 shifts of watching Lord Cephas to make sure he doesn't, go flying anywhere without parachute. And so why Ray's gonna just have to take care of himself. We're too tired, we're too stretched thin, we just don't have the time or the energy or the motivation or anything like that. But, thankfully, God doesn't operate like that because I know me, sometimes I'm like, I'm tired. They're going to have to learn eventually. What did my mother say? Don't come running to me if you break a leg. And we're always like, wait a minute. How, how, how is that? And she just told us to shut up. But, so it kind of hit me today that as much as I love my kids and as much as I want what's best for them and I go out of my way to protect them, and but I have a lot of responsibility. I have to make sure the two little ones were safe before I could go to the point of saving them. But God is just ready. All we have to do is call on Him, and He'll be there. there's a little tidbit that just kind of hit me and went on a side tandem. I was like, I'll share it. It's late, but I'll share it. So, hope you have a good night. Take it easy. Second day of New Year. Hopefully, it's been the second best day of the year for you. See what I did there?